Hi there, welcome back. So this is going to be our final video for Valentine's themes, and this is a bit longer than our usual videos, but we've got a few techniques here, a few different like little gift ideas that you might wish to give to somebody, the one you love, or maybe just a favourite person in your life. So we're going to use those heart moulds. We're using J Diction resin, which is a 1:1 mixing ratio, and then we've split the clear resin down into 4 different jugs here. So in this first one, we've added in some silver foil. This has been sped up, by the way, just so that, you know, 15 minutes this video. So I hope you've got a nice cup of tea or coffee, sat down and just relaxing. So in the other one, we're going to use this glitter. It's not really a fine glitter. It's more of what they call a confetti style glitter. Everything that we do use, by the way, will be listed in the description box down below. So there we are. I'm just popping that into the resin. And then going to use a little wooden stir stick. These are actually coffee stir sticks, but they're quite good for mixing in resin. Obviously, you mix your resin however you choose to mix it with whatever you choose to mix it with. So there we are. Obviously stir carefully, and as usual, always make sure, oh, nearly spilt that. Always make sure that you're wearing gloves to protect your skin and your hands, and that you're wearing the respirator mask and keeping a well ventilated area. So, oh, that's me in the other side, on the side there. Did you see that? The pink gloves. So what we've got, and you can see in the little mixing jug, is a bit of a customized color. So we've used all 3 of these. Couple of Vista pigments there. I believe that's Vuba Red, Polar White, and then a classic rose pink acrylic paint. Now, we weren't sure quite how this was going to take to the resin, so Wayne decided to put in about 3/4 of it. It's quite thick, as you can see. He's going to add 3/4 of it into the resin and just sort of mix it in. Now, what we have found is that if it's quite thick like that was, you do need to thoroughly stir it in. Otherwise, you're going to end up with little clumps of unmixed acrylic paint in with your resin, and you don't want that because obviously it's not going to cure properly. So there we go. It's quite a deep colour pink. Now we do the same sort of similar thing again there, but this time there was a lot of white Vista, Polar White Vista, there we are, pigment, resin pigment, and I have added, not that you can see it, a bit of the raspberry coloured Arteza mica powders, and then again a tiny bit of my favourite pink acrylic paint at the moment. So I think he mixed all of this in. In the other darker pink, we did actually end up mixing in all of the little jug of pink, you know, the custom colour that we made. There we go. So just carefully adding it in. There we are. That's it, and then just mixing it in. Got a bit of a hectic working area at the moment where we do our crafting. We're currently on day 2 of Operation Tidy Craft Space area, which, you know, is quite the task. So there we go. So we've got the silver foil in clear resin. We've got the darker, deeper pink, and we've got the paler pink. So he's going to make a start. He's just going to pour in a little bit of this clear resin with the silver foil into these 2 lovely little heart moulds. Now these are, when you demold them, they give a rounded edge, and they're quite chunky. They're quite nice. Very nice to give to somebody as a little gift, you know, sort of, no matter what time of year it is, really. So there we are. Doesn't have to be just for Valentine's. And then the darker. So we've got the clear resin with the silver foil. We've got the pale pink. Then we've got the darker. And then here we've got this splash of resin that has, we've also got the splash of resin that's got the confetti glitter. Now I think he actually decided against adding that completely. Here we go. So he put that to one side for the moment, because a bit concerned at this point that maybe we wouldn't have enough of resin, the coloured resins, to actually complete the project or the little projects. So this is a lovely mould. This is a pale blue mould. I can't remember off the top of my head where we got it from. Probably Temu, I think. But it's got a bit of a holographic effect on it. So what we're trying to accomplish here is go for a little bit of an ombre look, but obviously, as you know, with resin, it's got a mind of its own. It's going to move as much or as little as it wants to. Yeah, so with these two, you could actually use them as pendants. You could use them as earrings. They're quite big though for earrings, personally. You could adapt it, and instead of having the central hole where it's going to be in the middle of the top bit of the heart, you could put it on either side and adapt them into so they're like the focal point of a bracelet or bangle, perhaps. Oh, look, it's my finger again. Just saying, top that bit up a bit. A bit more. So there you go, you can't get rid of me. And now he's just using a little micro stir stick there, little micro one, to try and amalgamate the different colours of the resin in a little bit more. There we go. Trying to encourage them to mix. But of course, resin will do what it wants. So this is the bigger heart mould. This is a coaster mould, or you could use it to hang from a window. Now with this one, he's put the darker colour around the edge. Then he's put the paler pink on the top, like that. And then I think he's going to put some more in. Yeah. There we go. So he's going to put some more of the paler pink in. And we're hoping it's going to give the same effect as it would for like a bloom. And then he's poured clear resin in from the centre very carefully, like that. And we're going to wait and see what kind of an effect it has, if any. So at this point we thought, you know, should we try and add some of this confetti glitter in the resin? Should we try and add some of that in? Hoping, really hoping that it might be heavy enough to sink, but yeah, it wasn't. But never mind, it's in there. There we go. So then that gets put to one side. He's just trying to push it down a little bit further, but that will get put to one side just to see how that reacts. Let's see how the two colours react with each other. Now he's just gone back to those two puffy hearts and he's just topping them up again. You can already see that it's already sort of started to amalgamate with the other two types of resin that were in there. Two different colourways. So just topping them up. As I say, he did make up some a little bit more resin because we were concerned that we wouldn't have enough. There you are, he's just topping it up with some clear. One thing we found when we use this particular heart mould is that you can never quite fill it enough. So what we tend to do when we demould, if we've still got like an inset bit, then we fill it with some UV resin with some glitter. So this, because we did have too much resin now, we're making a little mini pot. And so first of all, he's poured in the clear resin with the silver foil, then the resin with the confetti, glitter in it, and then the paler pink, and then the dark pink. So just in layers. You've seen us do this before in some of our previous videos, particularly ones where we've done the reed diffusers. If you haven't seen that, then why not have a little look back through our how-to playlist, and you'll find the one with how to make beautiful reed diffusers. There we go. So that's just up to the top. Now you could quite happily, you could leave it like that, or if you want to try and encourage it to amalgamate a bit more, you can do what Wayne's currently doing, which is to pop a stir stick down on the inside, and he's supposed to be doing the drop swirl. Sorry, his hand is rather in shot there. Whoop. Careful for spillage. Now, it was at this point I did actually look at it and say, don't think it's quite mixed enough down the bottom. There was too much clear with the silver foil that I could see, but I don't know if he's a little bit side shot there. So he's using something a bit bigger, and yeah, this got a little bit messy. Yeah, there we go. So I think actually he gave up at that point. Ooh, nearly knocked it over. Go careful when you're using these small moulds like that. Now, this is the lovely little faceted bear. Now, some of you might have seen this in previous videos. This is our little go-to mould now for if we've got leftover resin and we happen to have enough to fill one of these, then we will. I love them. I love these little bears at the moment. They're my favourite thing. So there we are. We're just scraping in every last little bit of resin that we have from this project. There we go. The very last little bits going in, topping it up with the last bits of the confetti glitter. I love these glitters. This confetti glitter was actually from a brand that was stocked in The Range, which is a retail shop that's in the UK here. So obviously you put whatever you want in. So here we go, we're just on demold stage here, and I don't know if you can see, you've got like a slight indent at the top, which I was talking about before. Now, it's not mixed particularly well if you look at it from one side, but it has from the other. So it's up to you what you do, if you decide to leave it as is, or if you decide to sort of put maybe a little bit more of an embellishment on that side. But I quite like the sort of almost like marble-like look to those, or a crackle edge finish look. So that's 2 hearts. Here are these ones. Wow, look at that holographic effect. That's really quite nice, actually. Really lovely. So you could just use those on their own as key charms, handbag charms. You could have them hanging from a window, perhaps, as a little window. Whoops, little window decoration there. Totally up to you what you decide to do with those. And here we go. Now this is what happened to this. So you can see the resin, the coloured resin on the other side was pulled in. Not so good on that side, I have to say. And after a bit of discussion, we decided actually what we're going to do is, instead of back coating the other side, we are going to put some embellishment on that one just to finish it off. So here we go. This is the little mini pot, which currently is taking pride of place in my on the desk in my office. There we go. So that's looking rather lovely. The way the silver foil collected at the base or at the top, which is what we wanted. And then you've got a bit of the mixing of the 2 different pinks. Now, here's the lovely faceted bear. We've got a little collection of these going now. Little collection. It's almost addictive. Oh, and he is adorable. So he's got the confetti glitter in his paws, on his legs. And then he's got the silver foil almost in his ears. So made the decision that we were going to put a little bit of embellishment on the larger heart here. Yeah, it hadn't quite had the effect we wanted it to, but then if we're going to put it on one side, we need to put it on the other. So had a little look through these lovely holographic stickers. And as you can see here, this has been sped up. Wayne had an awful time trying to separate them. So obviously you separate things whatever best way is best for you. Wayne prefers to do this. Some people use a weeding tool maybe, or a little craft knife. So just trying to align it up. It's quite difficult to align it up without it going over the edges. And when he first did it, it did line up. And then he took the sticky bit off, or the bit that's not sticky off, to try and line it up, and had an awful job trying to line it up. So we decided to repeat it on the back. There we go. So that's rather lovely, I think. And then obviously there was the decision of what you're going to do. So Wayne decided to make, although you only see him making one of them here, a window decoration. So what he's using is he's using a selection of small seed beads from our stash. Obviously it's up to you if you want to do this way, or what you want to use to suspend the one heart below the other, but this is what we decided to do. So yeah, sorry, this is on a time lapse. So there we go. So he's just attaching the top heart to the bottom heart, and we've got that length of see-through thread or cord in between, that has all these lovely little seed beads on, and there are 2 little eyelet hooks in the top. So here we are with the final shot. As you can see there, we've also got the beautiful big heart and the little bear. So I hope you've enjoyed that video. Thanks for tuning in, watching, liking, sharing and subscribing. Take care everyone.